What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for coming back today. Thank you so much for just taking time out of your day. Just click on today's video. Truly means the world to me. I have two amazing documentaries that I checked out over the weekend. I want to tell you guys about them today. The first one, now both these guys was my childhood to a T. Love these guys, love these actors. But the documentaries that I'm going to be talking about today, the first one I'm going to be talking about, Sly, that is on Netflix. It follows the kind of life and time of Sylvester Stallone. Growing up in the 80s, man, there was nothing better for me than Sylvester Stallone in the 80s, 90s, even today with the Expendables and stuff like that. Loved everything he put out back then. Even Stop Where My Mom Will Shoot. I love that movie. Basically, Sly, all of his kids have moved out. He lives in this big house. He needs to downsize, so he is now moving. But this movie takes a big dive into the career of Stallone. Before Rocky, the struggles it took to get to make Rocky, kind of his career, and then where he is now. If anyone doesn't know, Stallone wrote and starred in Rocky, which won Best Picture in 1976. He had a few small accredited acting roles up to there where he kind of got characterized as like this thug in all the movies he played in. He talks about that he was stereotyped as this thug in all the movies, that no one saw him as a leading man. No one took him serious whenever he presented these scripts that he wrote. Now, a lot of studios loved the script of Rocky. A lot of studios just kept offering him more and more money, but he was a struggling actor. He was struggling just to make ends meet. I think some studios offered him upwards almost $300,000 for the screenplay of Rocky, but he can't play in it. But his main thing is he was going to play Rocky. That was the only way he was going to sell it. And, I commend him wholeheartedly, because if you're poor and you're struggling and someone offers you $300,000 just to make all that go away, and you stick to your guns as far as this is your one shot. He talks about that a lot. He knew this was his one shot to be something, and he knew what he had, and he was going to stick with it, and he knew he wanted to play the role of Rocky. I know a few things about Stallone that the documentary doesn't go into. I know struggling up to the point of Rocky, Stallone actually sold his dog, Buckus, as you see in Rocky 1 and 2. He actually sold him just to make ends meet, which is super sad. But don't worry, it has a happy ending. After the success of Rocky, Stallone went back to the person he sold him to and bought Buckus back for $3,000. Another thing the documentary does a really good job is, he had the big motion picture of Rocky. Would he be just a one-hit wonder, or would he go on to have this amazing career? There's a lot of pressure. He talks about the pressure that was on that, every news article outlet hyped him up as the next big thing, the next Robert De Niro, and he had a big shoes to fill, and it kind of broke him. It got to him that he felt like the pressure was on him to produce something as amazing as Rocky. One thing he talks very, very well on, and I love this saying that he does, is that just imagine you're looking out a window and you're on a train and just pictures of your life is just flying by, and you get to see them for 1 second and they're gone. And, that really, it meant something, because, that is so true. Even myself, I think about stuff and I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that was over 25 years ago. It is so crazy how fast life happens, and just how hard life hits you sometimes. Another thing I love about the documentary too is it does feature Arnold Schwarzenegger. He does talk about their battles in the 80s of their movies, kind of like the YouTube video I made. But no, Arnold does get on there and talk about their battle in the 80s of the action stars, who was going to be bigger, next one had to be badder. It was fun to see the friendship now that it's become, opposed to what it was during the 80s, during the shooting and making of all these movies. It was great to see this documentary from Stallone's side, that, he grew up in a house with an abusive father, that nothing was ever good enough for his father. He talks about a lot of stuff that his father did that I was in shock that a dad would actually do that to their son. But, he talks about all the movie roles he did, all the screenplays that he wrote, had a part of something that he wanted to prove to his dad. He always wanted to live up to his dad's expectations, and he never felt like he could. One thing I did love on that it did touch on briefly, but didn't spend a lot of time on, was Stallone's son. Now, his son Sage was in Rocky 5 with him. I think he might have had a few acting roles after that, but Sage did pass away in 2012. They briefly touched on it, but not a lot. I thought it was pretty nice to have that remembrance of added to the documentary. Kind of add a nice little touch. But overall, this documentary does a great job of capturing the career, the life of Stallone. I would have to give this documentary a 10 out of 10. I could not recommend this enough. I cannot rave about it enough. If you've seen it, drop me a comment down below. Also, too, I want to know, which one was your favorite Stallone movie? Man, out of all the Stallone movies, it may be a tie between Rambo 2 and Rocky 4. Documentary number 2. Now, this one is a little bit more tugs on the heartstrings a little bit. If you guys don't know me, huge Back to the Future fan. Michael J. Fox is such a legend to me. One of my favorite people in the world. If I could sit down with anyone and just talk to them, 100% I would choose Michael J. Fox just to hear his story, just to talk to him, because he is such a fascinating guy to me. He seems like such a genuine, nice guy. But the documentary goes into Michael J. Fox. It goes on his career, how he started off. He was a struggling actor, landed his role in Family Ties. They wanted him in Back to the Future, but they just couldn't make the shooting schedule work. So basically, Michael J. Fox would shoot during the day on Family Ties, jump into the back of a car, sleep on the way to a studio, get out, shoot all the scenes for Back to the Future at night. That's why a lot of the Back to the Future scenes is shot at night. Eric Schultz was originally cast for Marty McFly, and they just did not, there was just no chemistry on set. So they knew they wanted Michael J. Fox, they had to have him, but he goes into the talk of that how hard it was and how difficult it was and the toll on his body to make that happen. He got hooked on some pills, and he had an alcohol problem. But the documentary not only spends time on the success of Michael J. Fox, it also talks about the struggles as well, that he's now living with Parkinson's disease. But very quickly in this documentary, as he's describing the things that happen, how he'll fall down sometimes, and the struggles he has just for simple tasks. Eating a bowl of cereal is just such a hard task for him that you're on the verge of tears, and then he will quickly turn around and make some type of joke, making fun of himself, that you can't help but laugh. For me, watching this documentary, it's kind of bittersweet. Like, I am so very sad to see the shell of a man that Michael J. Fox used to be, but now, to see how strong he is in his diagnosis, that he's not taking no for an answer. He is going to do everything. The physical trainers that are working with him on the documentary, all they keep telling him to do is slow down. Just slow down doing it. You gotta take it slow. And he's like, no, screw that. I'm gonna do it full speed. And, I commend him on that. Love Michael J. Fox. For me, this documentary, 11 out of 10. I cannot rave about this one enough. It is my favorite documentary that I've watched in a very, very long time. I don't know if that's just because of my love for Michael J. Fox. But to wrap this up, though, man, two great documentaries. If you're looking for something to watch this weekend, definitely check these two out. Like I said, Sly is on Netflix. Still is on Apple TV. You will not be disappointed. You'll definitely cry. You'll laugh. You'll come out of it learning so much more. It is, like I said, it is bittersweet to see these guys, because I grew up with these guys. But of course, they are older. They do, they are having their own struggles now as far as getting older. It is very, very sad to see. If you've seen these documentaries, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you've seen them. That's all I have for you guys today. On your way out, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button down below. If you're not a subscriber, you can quickly become one. Just hit the subscribe button, and then out beside that, hit that little bell notification and select all, and then YouTube will notify you whenever I drop a new video. But if you want to go follow me on Instagram, I have my Instagram down below as well. You can shoot me a message over there. Go follow me over there. Shoot me some suggestions of shows you'd like for me to check out, movies you'd like me to watch. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to watch something that you guys recommend and do a video on it. So, that's all I have for you guys today. Mom, I love you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Hey, if you want to watch another video, click here. If you want to subscribe, click over here. As always, thanks for watching, guys.